Washington XL 92.5 FM.
All right, end of the week edition. Glad you're along for the ride. Frangie, Carly, and LaSelva with you. The Ryder Cup. We got to rally a little bit here, Carlion. What are we doing here?
Absolutely. Very critical back nine now. We're down 3-1. Dreadful morning. And but they're up comfortably in one. We're up comfortably in another. And then there's two that just got to the back nine that it's all square in one, and they're one up in that one. We've got to win both those to get it back to square going into tomorrow. So some work to do for sure.
The U.S. needs 14.5 points because you have to have more points to win a cup if the other guy's holding it, which they are. To Hayes' point, the Team Europe won the first three matches. They were up 3-0 early on. Finally, Xander Schauffele, and Patrick Cantlay finally won. They beat McIntyre and Hovland. That got us off the schneid, as it were. And this is a tough go for the good guys. There's no question about that. Tough go so far in the early going.
Without a doubt. So we'll see. Again, the ones that we're watching right now, Rose and Fleetwood against DeChambeau and Griffin. That's all square through 11. And then McIlroy and Lowry are one up on Cantlay and Burns. And, you'd like to get both those. You get both those, then I think you feel pretty good about the day. But you can't let both those get away. And now you're probably looking at a 6-2 hole, which that would be very difficult.
That would not be good, but that would definitely not be good. All right, lots of things to talk about today on the program. Talk some Jags football, Jags and Niners. Robert Saleh's comments, I guess, were the news of the day that everyone's talking about. We'll certainly get to that coming up. We'll hear from Tyson Campbell and Dennis Gardeck. You went all defense today, didn't you? I did.
I went all offense the other day, so I went all defense this day.
You just leaned in and went defense. I like it. So We'll certainly talk some Jaguars football coming up. Knowles and Virginia in 3 hours. I'm very interested in watching that game. So for me, I thought Florida State wasn't going to be nearly as good as they are. Not as bad as last year. Saw them against Alabama, and they were really impressive. It wasn't because Alabama's off. It wasn't because Alabama's bad. It wasn't because Kalen DeBoer. It's because FSU was really dang good. And, I mean, they just rolled Alabama. Then they've been, at least, if you're a diehard, you watch every play. Well, I'm not a diehard Seminole. I'm a Florida guy. But I'm very intrigued with FSU and very impressed by FSU. But if you're not a diehard, you probably haven't watched them, right? We haven't watched them in the last month. So here they are playing a game that I'm confident they're going to win. I think they're better. But I can't wait to watch the game. I guess that the point is I'm really on a Friday night. We're eating dinner at home because I'm flying tomorrow. We're not going out. We're not going with the friends we usually hang out with. We're eating dinner, and I'm gonna lock in and watch Florida State, Virginia tonight.
Absolutely, I think it's going to be a great game. I think Virginia has a good chance to pull the upset. So, I think they can score, and we know FSU can certainly do that as well. But I just think it's a big challenge for Mike Norvell because it's a road game on a Friday night in league play. You really haven't faced a team with a pulse since that Alabama game. That's a long time to go and still be getting better as a team when you're really not seeing anything of consequence on Saturdays. And you got the Miami game next week, obviously. That's going to be one of the biggest games that Florida State is in Miami have played in quite some time. So it doesn't set up well for FSU. And I'm curious to see how they handle that.
Yeah, and my gut is they're going to handle it well. But to your point, it is a challenge. And so I think of all that stuff, the biggest part of the challenge is you spent an off season of everyone telling you how good you weren't to all of a sudden everybody's telling you how good you are, and you got Miami coming up in 8 days. I think that's they're still kids, they're still college kids. Can you keep yourself from thinking about looking ahead to Miami against what probably is a decent – I don't know if Virginia's a good team. Let me rephrase that. I don't think Virginia's a great team, but they're probably a pretty good team. They're probably decent. So, yeah, it'll be a fun game to watch tonight. And again, like Tom Block said, like we've talked about, this is kind of their Super Bowl because it's their Friday night game, and all the students will be there, and it's on national television. So Virginia versus Florida State going to be awful fun tonight to watch. Speaking of college football, tomorrow we've talked about what a huge day it is, and we'll get to this later on in the program. Georgia Bama is going to be good because all the storylines. I thought Georgia made such a statement in Knoxville against Tennessee by saying, don't think we're not still Georgia. For whatever reason, after Georgia won it 2 years in a row, all of a sudden Georgia doesn't win it a few years, and people all of a sudden think they're not Georgia anymore. I thought Georgia went to Knoxville against a really good team, playing at home in a high-scoring track meet game, which isn't Georgia's MO, by the way. When Georgia's winning championships, they're out physicaling you. They're not beating you 44-41 or whatever that game was. They're beating you 31-3, right? That's who they are. And they went. So I thought Georgia made a real statement. I think tomorrow night's game is Alabama's way to ease back into the picture and erase the disappointment of the FSU loss. You know what I mean? If you beat Georgia.
If you beat Georgia, no one's going to remember the FSU loss.
If you beat Georgia on the road in Sanford Stadium,
Athens,
no one's going to be mad at you about the FSU loss.
How long has it been since Georgia lost at home? I mean, that's got to be a while, right?
Doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I would think.
I'm with you. I don't remember
think
any
of
no time. I can't remember any in a while. Yeah, so certainly, but
it was South Carolina like 2018 or 19. It's been 33 games.
But boy,
that's a heck of a home winning streak.
I mean, but it really is. So certainly an awful lot of fun things to talk about today on the program. We'll get to all the college football. We got our picks coming up. We'll talk more Ryder Cup. Pete Prisco checks in to talk NFL. You're going to hear from Tyson Campbell and Dennis Gardeck coming up in our next segment. Two terrific Jaguars that Hayes caught up with both of them. But what'd you make of the Robert Saleh comments? For people that didn't hear, Robert Saleh essentially said Jacksonville's staff is very good at legally stealing signs. Now, sign stealing has become because of the stuff that happened with Connor Stallions in the college level in Michigan, all of a sudden sign stealing has become the great, great ill because of the Astros and the banging the gong and Connor Stallions with Michigan. So when you hear sign stealing, you think egregiously villainous, bad, illegal, terrible people, unethical. Well, the truth is, Saleh said it's legal, and a lot of teams do it. My take on it, God bless them. God, if you can do it legally, I can tell you, I played baseball my whole life, Hayes, and if you were leading off third base, and you could see, or first base, or certainly second base when you had a better look, and you could see the catcher signs, and you could flash it back to the hitter. That was smart. It's what you're supposed to do. So legal sign stealing is good. My take out of this is the first thing he said was it's legal. Good for the Jags.
It was one of the more striking things that I've ever heard a defensive coordinator say at the podium. I believe we have at least one of the clips. Is that right, JJ? The Saleh clip? So maybe we can.
Let's play it. If you have it, then. JJ, do you have the clip from Robert Saleh?
Yep.
Let's fire that up. This is what Robert Saleh said about the sign stealing.
You know, Liam and his staff, coming from a couple of guys coming from Minnesota, you know, they've got legally a really advanced signal stealing type system where they always find a way to put themselves in an advantageous situation. They do a great job with it. They formation you to try to find any nugget they can. So we've got to be great with our signals, and we got to be great with our communication, and to combat some of the tells that we might give on the field. So they're almost elite in that regard.
It goes on. It was one of the most extraordinary things that I've seen. So, and the question that was asked that led to that comment was something like, what's it going to be like not having Nick Bosa on Sunday? It wasn't anything about sign stealing. Saleh just volunteers that. So he's then asked to follow up of, well, how are they stealing the signs? And he's like, well, that's a good question. And he goes on and on. But it was amazing. And he does, every time he prefaces it, he says, it's legally, but then he uses the word stealing. Yeah. Well, okay, that's quite a paradox. And, you know, in terms of looking at it, I thought it was a coach that doesn't have arguably his best defensive player going in Nick Bosa and is getting ready to play the Rams on Thursday night and is planting a little bit of a seed as to why maybe the performance defensively is not going to be all that strong on Sunday. Because I've never heard of a coach talking about this. And he didn't it wasn't one of these things. Sometimes a coach will say something at a podium and kind of realize it and maybe walk it back. He doubled down and tripled down on it. So the clip we played, there's two more clips behind it that that where Saleh goes into even greater detail about this. And so I think it speaks very highly of Liam Cohen and his staff, because to me, that's coaching. I mean, you're supposed to try and find tells in your opponent. And I thought Liam handled it well today when he was asked about it at his press conference. But I think it's really added a big layer to this game in terms of a longtime NFL guy in Robert Saleh, who's, heck, he was here a decade ago as a linebackers coach under Gus Bradley, but has been a defensive coordinator in San Francisco, was the head coach of the New York Jets, is back as a coordinator in San Francisco. This guy's not a newbie in the league. And to be talking the way that he talked in detail about this, it was to the point where until I saw the 49ers transcript of it, I wasn't sure it was legit. That's how unusual the comments were.
Yeah, I think if Robert Saleh had it to do over again, I think he would have said the Jags are very good at recognizing what you're doing on defense. That would have probably solved all of this. We got a lot to talk about. We'll talk some Jaguars football. You'll hear from two terrific defenders, Tyson Campbell and Dennis Gardeck. Hayes caught him in the locker room today. That's how we'll kick off the program, talking football and more on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
This is your escape. This is your next adventure. This is Mazda, and this is Mazda at the Avenues. Lauren Brooks here. Right now, purchase any new Mazda model, and Mazda at the Avenues will match your down payment or your payments for 1 full year. Plus, every new Mazda comes with 3 years, 36,000 miles of maintenance at no additional charge to you. This is luxury, and this is the start of something new. This is Mazda at the Avenues. For complete details, call 904-430-8047.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harold & Harold. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harold & Harold make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold & Harold and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park. Go!
Recap this week's high school football games with Hacker and Dylan Denmark.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Hear highlights and comments from the winning coaches. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Football season is all about hanging at home and watching the big ball games. Well, if your AC and heating unit is letting you down and keeping those electric bills sky high, think about getting a new energy-efficient AC unit from Florida Home AC. They've got great deals on replacements plus rebates and incentives to make it more affordable. Call Florida Home AC at 777-4300 and get their expert staff to take a look. Football season is all about fun and playing for the win. Make sure you have the winning team on your side with Florida Home AC.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic floors, where every step is fantastic.
Plan ahead this year and order your home holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. They'll take care of all of your Christmas tree setup, lighting, and decorating hassles too. This is High Flying Jacko. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We sure appreciate our friends at Big Chief. 6 locations now on the First Coast. The Parmans have really grown that thing. Great people. People you really trust. They're on the north side. There's 2 on the west side. There's the south side on Phillips Highway. Now they've got Orange Park. That was location number 5. And location number 6 is over here in Mandarin. So no matter where you are, if you can hear me now, you're close to a Big Chief. And whether it's tires or automotive service, brakes, alignments, oil changes, they do it all. And they do it right. And they want to make sure you drive out of there safely. You got to be safe in the car these days. And I promise you, my friends at Big Chief Tire will make sure you're safe. They've done it for 60 years. I want to hear from some Jaguar players. We'll get to Tyson Campbell in a minute. But this Dennis Gardeck guy is a cool story. Number one, he dominated the first quarter. He dominated it. And I'll tell you what I liked. I said this before. I'll say it to you again. What I really liked about him, Hayes, yeah, he got a penalty. I don't give a damn. There was a cheap shot. One of those Texans took a cheap shot on Ross Matisic, the deep snapper, when he wasn't looking. And then, Gardeck lost his mind and drilled the guy. Now, he drilled the guy so late, about 3 or 4 flags flew, because as always, the officials catch the second guy. I'm a big believer, by the way, that replay ought to catch that. They ought to allow replay to do, but I really believe that. They ought to allow replay to go back and do both. And catch both guys, but that's not how replay's set up right now. I love that about. I love the fact that he drilled the guy that drilled Matisic. I love that
without a doubt, and I've been really impressed with Dennis Gardeck as a linebacker. And this is he's a critical piece Sunday because he knows the 49ers. He spent his whole career in their division playing for Arizona, so he has seen them twice a year for many years now. And I think he can be a very valuable resource to the other players that really, the Jaguars don't see the 49ers except once every 4 years, unless you happen to, fall into the 17th game formula, but they never have. So you're just not going to have a lot of experience going against them. But Gardeck has that, and I think that's going to be a big key, particularly with Christian McCaffrey catching as many passes as he's catching for the 49ers as they try to navigate a world that doesn't include Kittle or Ayuk. And so anyway, I think Dennis Gardeck, I've been really impressed with him as a defender. And I think that has a chance to continue Sunday because he's going to know what the 49ers are trying to do probably better than most of the players out there for the Jaguars just because of his experience.
Here's Hayes earlier today with Jaguar linebacker Dennis Gardeck.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
All right, we're pleased to be joined with Jaguars linebacker Dennis Gardeck here on 92.5 1010XL. Man, it's great to meet you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Just finished a fast Friday. Everything went well. Communication was at a high level.
How high does the communication level need to be against this team in a Shanahan offense?
At its highest. Shifts, motions, this and that, and to be on the details isn't enough because now it's a fight. So you get yourself aligned, ready to go. It's going to be a shift or motion. You got your second call ready. And then when balls snap, it's a fight.
You've obviously seen this system a lot from your days in the NFL, Dennis. What stands out? What can you tell your teammates that maybe aren't as familiar with going up against Kyle Shanahan?
It would be that same message of to be on the details isn't enough. To be on the details is just to get you in position. From there, it's taking the fight to them, and it's a different team when you play it with anticipation versus trying to play catch up post snap.
They're missing Kittle, obviously, but they still are very active in terms of what they do with the tight ends. How does that change your approach to facing them?
Approach does not change at all. I respect every pro out there. 85 is a huge piece for them, absolutely, but just being the guy that's been a next man up mentality, I'm not discounting anything from 88 or 89.
Sure thing. And in terms of Christian McCaffrey, very active, obviously, as a receiver as well. How well do they do the job of getting him the ball in space?
They do a real good job of getting him the ball and getting people out of position and trying to steal your eyes or trying to hide where he's at, whatever. It's just you got to keep eyes on 23.
What's it been like so far playing with this group?
It's been a lot of fun. I said it the other day, there's just such a high standard on defense that to go out there and take the field with them, you just want to contribute and do your 111th because we are moving at such a high clip. Everybody's playing together. We're playing for each other, which is a lot of fun.
In terms of Foye, what does he bring to the room?
I don't think there's anything he doesn't bring to the room. He brings the energy, his veteran leadership, communication, bringing guys along, helping teach the younger guys. I'm learning from them. There's just, honestly, I look at both of our inside guys, and I don't see a weakness.
Yeah, Devin's been playing great as well. What stands out on film with Devin's effort?
Again, just another complete player. Like he's got the athleticism to get to wherever he needs to on the field. You see that by the interception in Cincy. Also in that same play, you see the intelligence, the anticipation, the film study. It's just you can feel the amount of work that these two have put in, and it's just awesome to be around. It raises my level. I think it raises the level of the defense because they're operating at such a high clip that anything below that kind of sticks out.
In terms of your play, some tackles behind the line, some pass breakups, how do you feel like it's going for you?
Yeah, same thing. Just trying to do my 111, trying to keep the high standard, everything going on my tips and reminders and trying to communicate. Just do my 111th. Yeah.
How much fun is it that, the Jaguars haven't had a lot of success lately, but you're 2-1 playing a team that's 3-0, and this is a game that the league will certainly be paying attention to. Are you encouraged by the fact that you guys have made such great strides so soon in the Liam Cohen era?
Yeah, it's awesome to be where we're at right now. I don't think anybody thinks the hay is in the barn or that the season is made. I think everybody's continuing to chip away. To be great late in the year is what you really want. So to keep climbing and keep leveling up our game, continuing to learn how to play with each other, to be on the details, to find the nuance within the calls, is how we'll continue to grow and be what we want to.
Dennis Gardeck, great talking with you. Best of luck Sunday. I think he's going to make a big play. I just think his familiarity with the 49ers is going to really help. And I like the way he's playing anyway. I like the form that he's in. I thought he really made a tackle behind the line against the Texans, also deflected a pass. So I like the way he is playing heading into this game, and I think his familiarity with the 49ers. Wouldn't be surprised if you're calling Dennis Gardeck's name a couple times on Sunday.
Yeah, he hasn't factored as a pass rusher yet either, but that's a skill set. Yeah. One of the reasons they went and got him.
17 career sacks. Yeah, so he can do it.
So that'll factor in as well. Let's get to Tyson Campbell. Tyson, he got beat on a double move. We all know that. He'd tell you that. But by and large, I thought he played well, and he's been playing well. You remember the one touchdown because he got beat, and he was way behind Nico Collins on the. Nico Collins is a pretty good player, by the way. I thought he was physical. I thought he had 2 or 3 pass breakups. He's your highest paid corner, and I think he's playing like it. I think they're all playing well right now.
Well, he personifies the Liam Cohen, like, strain and finish and don't get down on yourself. I mean, he gets beat. He comes right back, forces a fumble that probably saved the game for the Jaguars. Devin Lloyd makes the recovery. And Liam Cohen, the first guy he singled out in the victory locker room celebration, if you watch the Jaguars video that they released, their digital team, it's Tyson Campbell, for that. So, not getting down on yourself and staying, mentally into the game. And Tyson did a good job of that. What I really enjoyed about this interview, so I'm interviewing Tyson at his locker. And all of a sudden, I hear this kind of commotion behind me. And I'm like, but which isn't unusual in the locker room on a Friday, but it's this, I can hear, yelling and I'm like, boy, that sounds like Liam. And so I turn, and Tyson even kind of like, is peeks over. And sure enough, it's Liam Cohen going through the locker room, firing up the defensive backs. And it was hilarious. And so if you hear any sort of background noise,
he said he was getting into it too.
Liam was fired up.
Let's go, right?
He was fired up. He was ready for a football game. So it was kind of a fun element of the interview. Probably happens like a minute, 2 minutes in.
There's so much to like about Liam and the way he connects with those players. And Tyson Campbell's playing at a very good level. Hayes Carline also with defensive back Tyson Campbell.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars cornerback Tyson Campbell here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. That was quite a win last week. Tyson, how pleasing was it to make the big forced fumble there at the end?
I mean, it's a blessing, man. Just playing for such a resilient team and giving all the glory to God, allowed me to be in position to make that play and got us a divisional win.
How cool is it to see Devin on the other side of that play? He's somebody that's going, kind of went through a battle in training camp and is playing, really high-level football.
Devin's been balling, man. Just proud to see the plays he's been able to make, man. He's been a great player his whole career here. So I wasn't surprised at all that he was the one that picked it up. And I was trying to find a block to room for him to score. But I was glad he possessed the ball and got it back to the offense.
How cool was it to have Liam shout you out in the post-game victory locker room to be one of the first guys that Liam kind of pointed to?
Oh, man, it was great, man. Just to see, how much, my teammates were proud of me, what I'm saying? Just love playing for this team and, hopefully I can make more plays in the future.
How cool is it to see Liam walking through here and getting you guys fired up on a Friday?
That's the type of coach he is, man. All the way from the head coach to the DC to the trainers, everybody brings, that good energy, good positive energy that we need.
How much fun are you having? 2-1, and you guys have a lot of momentum going to play a 3-0 team, and it seems like everybody's really getting along and playing at a high level.
It's exciting. I'm having a lot of fun, taking it one day at a time, so we can keep stacking those wins and, go far in this season.
What stands out about San Francisco offensively in that Kyle Shanahan offensive system?
Just how they move a lot during the pre-snap and, try to mess up the defensive eyes and, and the players that they have that's capable of making the big plays and being in that system so long, everybody's very productive in that system. So,
Ricky Pearsall, young receiver for San Francisco, they've certainly dealt with some injuries to that position. What stands out when you watch Pearsall?
Him being able to make explosive catches, being able to be quick, and be able to be versatile, whether it be, give him reverses. And last year he threw a pass. He tried to throw a pass. So they use him a lot, kind of like how they were using Debo in a way. But good player.
In terms of Christian McCaffrey, obviously he gets the ball a number of different ways. How important is it to rally towards him and get a lot of guys heading his way when he gets the football?
It's very important. Christian McCaffrey's been a great player in this league for a long time, so he's definitely somebody that you have to key on during the game. So it's gonna be fun. Can't wait to see us compete and us challenge them.
Tyson, what has Jordan Lewis brought to the defense?
Just brought leadership, knowledge, and just a new energy to the squad. So blessed to have him. He's become one of my close friends, so definitely appreciate him coming on the team.
And Eric Murray has been really physical and seems like he's given you guys some high-level contributions. What have you thought about Eric's play?
He's been playing well, man. Just the knowledge he brings as well, being in the league, I want to say 9 years, him being able to bring that experience to the group, definitely beneficial to us, and him being able to make plays week in and week out, that's been huge for us.
Dennis Gardeck plays with physicality. What have you seen out of Dennis and as a first-year Jaguar?
Just a lot of energy, physicality, and one heck of a motor, whether it be on the defensive side or the special team side, he's always yearning to make the play.
Tyson Campbell, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck in San Francisco.
Thank you, man. God bless.
Yeah, I appreciate Tyson's time and Dennis Gardeck's as well. A big assignment, for Tyson Campbell, because they might get Jennings back. It looks like from 49ers beat writers out there that it looks like he might practice today. And Pearsall's playing at a really high level. So, McCaffrey is going to do some nice things. He's that kind of a player, and they do a really good job of scheming him. But you can't let Ricky Pearsall go for 125 and a touchdown.
Big part of the game, no question about it. That'd be a Florida-Georgia matchup if Campbell is covering Ricky Pearsall. We'll take a break. We'll talk Florida State, Virginia after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Ramey Elabu in Jacksonville at 904-309-9077.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Hayes Carline here to let you know about my new tailgate obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love the new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers, as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You have got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at your grocery store.
Big number one Duval Ford is trusted by Duval families, Duval businesses, and law enforcement across Florida. We're Jacksonville's largest Ford dealer by new Ford sales, with the biggest service facility to keep everything in your driveway and in your fleet on the road. Shop Big number one Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue for our low prices and nationally recognized service-first experience. Big number one Duval Ford, proudly serving North Florida since 1916.
Pre-game Friday.
Built by Dream Finders Homes. Homes built to fit your lifestyle. On 1010XL.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Get ready, poker players. The World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 30th through November 18th. It's your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and mega satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. For the full WPT schedule and more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off soon with an epic in-state showdown. The defending national champion Florida Gators and the Miami Hurricanes go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Hoop Showdown. Be there Sunday, November 16th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus Miami right here at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, November 16th. Ticketmaster.com.
Daily Stash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daily Stash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Dailies is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. 1010
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck, duckduckrooter.com. Here's the game tonight for Florida State. It's one of those you can't lose at games. Some games you need to win, some you need to be careful you don't lose. FSU, after a really troubling season last year, gained so much equity with so many people by rebuilding it, by wearing out the portal, by Mike Norvell hiring two really good coordinators. including one who was a sitting head coach, and then blasting Alabama by 2 touchdowns. FSU Miami next week can be another of those games for the ages. That could be 2 top 5 teams by the time they play that game next week. It's that critical of a game. Florida State Miami is one of the great rivalries we've ever seen in college football, and it could be back. But they can't mess it up tonight. If the Noles lose tonight, and Hayes, you think there's a chance that Virginia hangs around tonight, they mess it all up. This is a really important game, and I think FSU's going to win tonight. I think the FSU's something special. I think the wide receiver Danzy is really something special. It's a guy that we didn't know much about. I think Squirrel White has his moments, a guy that we did know a little bit about. I think Castellanos is going to be fun to really focus and watch tonight. So winning tonight is big, Hayes. More importantly, not losing and not letting it get messed up for next week, the most important thing about tonight's ball game, and that's the 10-10 take.
Yeah, I think Florida State over the course of this weekend, they're at probably as much risk of a perception change around the nation as any team in the sport, because if they do lose to Virginia and then Georgia convincingly beats Alabama, then I think Sunday morning a lot of people are going to be saying, well, what do we really make of FSU? They've now lost a game at Virginia, who no one thinks is a playoff contender. And maybe that win over Alabama a month ago is losing some luster. It could go the other way too. They could beat Virginia 38-10, and Alabama wins in Athens, and you look up and Florida State's 4th in the country, or whatever it would be. So, but in terms of crossroads is too strong, because I don't think the opponent warrants it. Virginia just hasn't done enough to really, to me, warrant that kind of a label on this game. But yeah, it's a game that you're not playing a patsy. You're a touchdown favorite, so certainly it's a losable game, but one that I think a lot of the momentum goes away if you can't beat Virginia. We'll see.
No question. I wonder what the setting is when the logo shows up. Back in the day, all through the 90s, that's why that game was it 94 that Virginia beat them on that Thursday night.
Right.
I think it was 94 when
Tiki Barber game.
The Tiki Barber and worked on tackle near the goal line. I think it was worked on.
Yeah.
I think it was 94. What made that game so enormous, first of all, FSU won the national title in 93, but FSU was so much better than everybody in the ACC.
I don't think they'd ever lost in the ACC. Wasn't that their first conference loss?
Correct, it was.
In that conference.
But the minute the logo showed up, you were in trouble.
95.
It was 95.
33-28.
Okay, so it was 90 a couple years later. So, but and it was their first loss. So I'm wondering, when the logo shows up tonight, is it still, we're half beat because the logo's there?
I don't think so.
Well, because last year they were 2-10.
Yeah.
So did that mystique go away? And here's my guess. I think some of it's there because the logo once upon a time, not that long ago, was pretty dominant. Yet they were 2-10 last year. So I wonder how that plays out. I wonder if all of a sudden you look up and FSU's up 13-0 in the first. Does the mystique come back? Because then the logo looks like the logo. See, that's why this game's so intriguing for me, Hayes. There's so many of these storylines that I can't wait to follow.
Well, and it's just odd to see a team get a gigantic win at home in week 1 and then really not be tested for like a month into the season. I mean, it's a quirky schedule that Florida State has. And again, so it's like you get this great win, but now you're a month removed from it, and we haven't really seen anything to judge the progress. I mean, they've killed 2 cupcakes, and they did what they're supposed to do, dominate 2 really outmanned opponents. But you have a bye week that's thrown in there. Like, it just seems like a long time to go without playing a team with a pulse. And I just think it creates a challenge for Mike Norvell. Not to say FSU can't overcome that, but I think from a coach's perspective, it's hard when you're not getting tested on Saturdays, I think, for your team to be making big jumps week to week. And so I'm curious to see, has Florida State still been able to take jumps? Because as great as they played against Alabama, you're probably going to have to continue to improve to really have a big-time season. Teams usually improve each week. So. Yeah. I think it's really interesting on a number of fronts, and I think the biggest one is there's been about a month where we just haven't really seen Florida State go up against any kind of resistance at all.
And by the way, I like the ACC Friday Nighters. I think that's cool that they do that. FSU has got 2 of them this year, by the way. Did you realize that? They also go 2 road Friday Nighters.
Yeah, it's surprising they got both on the road.
They play at Virginia and at NC State. Miami's got one, JJ. They play Louisville in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we had that Vatek debacle last year.
That's right. That was that's right. I forgot. That was a Friday Nighter too, wasn't it? Yes,
yeah,
it was.
usually once a year Miami will be on a Friday.
But Miami's got Louisville.
Friday's the new Thursday.
Yeah, and I like it. I mean, I think it's. I mean, you don't like to compete with high school football. I get that, but I like the ACC. They've done a good job with these Friday night games. So we'll be watching tonight. FSU and Virginia. 7. By the way, 7:00 kick. It's not because TCU and somebody is tonight. ASU is at 9:00. So they don't want them to overlap too much. So a 7:00 kick for the Noles. I'll be watching.
2 hours and 18 minutes away.
To be watching tonight. When we come back, Hayes has headlines. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL is your home for play-by-play on Bishop Kenny football.
The Crusaders and Braves battle on the banks of the St. Johns River. Parker, Bishop Kenny. Friday night at 7 on 92.5 FM.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Florida Gators begin to spiral out of control as they lost last Saturday night's matchup in Miami 26-7. The Gators fall to 1-3 on the season and 15th in the SEC rankings. They'll have a much-needed bye this weekend before facing Texas in the Swamp Saturday, October 4th.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Chris Doering brings insider takes and Gator gold to the drill. We're back. The former Gator joins Dan and Jeff Tuesday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL. Protected by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here. Only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do. Stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
Frank Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnick Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. So shop 24/7 online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or at the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding, so easy to use. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Prosser here again for Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts you can trust. You might think you have a struggle ahead, but Chad and Sandy always have a solution, and ultimately it ends in a success story. Jacksonville area homes are selling, but getting the right price requires aggressive marketing and proven systems. Hiring the experts who know how to create demand is crucial. You need Chad and Sandy Newman. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. But, man, they deliver with the promises. The local real estate experts you can trust. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Oh, and the proof is out there. Tom and Nicole in Mandarin. I got a new job in Louisiana. We found a new home. Now we'd have to sell fast to avoid paying 2 mortgages. Chad and Sandy did it. Use them today. ChadAndSandy.com. That's ChadAndSandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farrah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Looking forward to seeing Holt and Jesse this weekend. They're going to watch the 49ers game at our house.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a little bit better luck.
Good.
You know, now that it's...
y'all haven't done well with the Gators.
We haven't done well with the Gators. So, and I've been banned, as I should be banned from their house for being the Black Cloud. But hopefully the Jaguars can get it done on Sunday and get our mojo back. We're going to start with an absolute bombshell that San Francisco defensive coordinator Robert Saleh decided to drop last night when he met with reporters, basically saying, hey, the Jaguars are really elite at legally stealing signs.
You know, Liam and his staff, a couple of guys coming from Minnesota, you know, they've got legally a really advanced signal stealing type system where they always find a way to put themselves in an advantageous situation. They do a great job with it. They formation you to try to find any nugget they can. So we've got to be great with our signals, and we got to be great with our communication, and to combat some of the tells that we might give on the field. So they're almost elite in that regard.
Good. I think it's legal. Anything you can do legally within the rules to win the game, win the game. Love it.
Without a doubt, Liam Cohen was asked for his response this morning when he met with reporters, and he talked about, he didn't really want to go too far into Saleh's specific comments, but he did talk about the importance of noticing trends in your opponent.
By formation, by game plan, by working really hard as a coaching staff throughout the week, trying to get indicators by your formation, motion, shift, pre-snap. Those are the things that you're trying to do as a coach. If you're, trying to put your players in the best position to be successful, whether it's attacking man or zone coverage with your formations, motions, and concepts. So it's a lot of hard work that goes into game planning and trying to put your players in the best position to be successful.
Shame on those cheating dang Jags that work really hard all week to understand the opponent's tendencies. How dare they?
Without a doubt. Let's get into around the NFL. Week 4 began last night with the Seahawks moving to 3-1 with a 23-20 win over the Cardinals. Jason Myers connected on a 52-yard walk-off field goal. Arizona dropped to 2-2.
Has every game in the NFL this year come down to a play at the end of the game?
It's been many of them.
It's amazing. It's a who makes the last play league. It's a one-possession league.
Well, when they give them the ball at the 40, they literally got the ball at the 40-yard line with 28 seconds left.
Yeah, and made one play.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the league we're in. You know, the 49ers are undefeated and really good. You know their total combined margin of victory of their 3 games?
It's like 9 points.
9 points. Yeah. They've won 3 games, and they're good. I'm not faulting them, but they've won 3 games by 9 points. That's the league we're in. And Darnold's pretty good. The first
he had a couple big time throws.
The first touchdown was really good.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's been around long enough, kind of like Mayfield. It took a few stops. He's a good player.
When you pressure him, he's terrible. Still, when Arizona was able to get to him, like he has no ability to play above the X's and O's. But when he has time and he's in rhythm, I mean, it's pretty to watch. I mean, he's got great accuracy and anticipation as well. But so Seattle gets a big win. The Jaguars play both of these teams. I really wasn't impressed with Arizona. Now, they did rally to tie the game, so they deserve credit for that. But they're playing at home, and Marvin Harrison Jr. finally shook off the slump and caught a touchdown. But I wasn't terribly impressed with either one of them. So it'd be interesting to see how we feel about that when the Jaguars, are on the schedule. But I don't think the Seahawks or the Cardinals look particularly daunting at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. But again, so help me, Hayes, it feels like there's a dumb comment, but it just feels like in so many ways everyone's even, man. The similarities in these teams. I mean, everybody plays everybody, and it's a 4-point game with 2 minutes to play. That's just the league, or less.
Yeah.
That's the league we're in.
Without a doubt. Washington has ruled out quarterback Jaden Daniels with a knee injury, so Marcus Mariota will start again as the Commanders travel to the Falcons on Sunday.
Yeah, Daniels chomping at the bit to play, but they're wisely being patient with him. Marcus Mariota still in the league and still a key backup, but they'll be better when Jaden gets back out there, obviously, and they're waiting for that.
Let's get to college football. Florida State plays at Virginia tonight at 7 o'clock, a little over 2 hours from kickoff. Frank, what do you think are a couple keys for the Noles?
I think, number one, what they do. They run the football. They get Thomas Castellanos on the edge. I'll say this. They have playmakers. Squirrel White. We talked about Danzy earlier. He went and got playmakers. I don't know that it's Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson and Bell, those level playmakers. I mean, just watching Trey Benson last night, by the way. Mike Norvell goes out and finds playmakers. So I think getting Castellanos outside, I think getting it into a track meet time kind of game. I know that Virginia has been better offensively than defensively, but if I'm FSU, I'm going to say we're going to go get 30, 40, 50, and you guys try and keep up. So I think a low-scoring game means a close game. A close game, the longer the home team hangs around, the better. If I'm FSU, I want to knock them out in the first half.
Let's get it to golf in the Ryder Cup. The U.S. team has pulled a Billy Napier at Bethpage Black, getting embarrassed in the morning session, and they're losing 3 of 4 afternoon matches currently, but there's still a lot of golf left. But they lost 3 of 4 matches this morning. Dreadful stuff from the Americans.
Yeah, it feels like, you've said this all along, it feels like Europeans have a better team. Sometimes the other guys got a better team. By the way, has the U.S. team done the punch out?
They have not done that yet.
Okay, so, I think, look, I'll give you credit. You said this all along that you think the European team, they've got the better team. And it's hard to argue.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's hard to argue after watching it today.
Yeah, but it certainly seems that way. Well, hopefully the Americans can rally. Again, a couple matches going on right now where Europe's just up 1 on the back 9, but the U.S. really needs to get both of those to start to feel better about their chances moving into tomorrow. Let's get to Major League Baseball. The Tigers beat the Guardians 4-2 last night to draw back even atop the AL Central as we head into the final weekend.
What a call. If the Guardians win that division, what an epic collapse by the Tigers, who looked like the best team in baseball at the All-Star, as late as the All-Star break. Well, that'll be a fun series to watch for sure as we go through the weekend.
In the AL wild card, the Astros are 1 back of the Tigers and Guardians loser. So whoever does not win that division, Houston is 1 back. Kind of a surprise that the Astros are probably going to not make the postseason.
I thought the Astros would be better. I thought they were one of the teams to watch in the early part of the season. They're the 2 biggest surprises to me in the American League, other than the collapse by the Tigers, are how good the Blue Jays are and how the Astros are not necessarily a playoff team.
The NL wild card update, the Mets have a 1-game lead over the Reds. So what do you think happens there?
I think the Mets have the better team. But I also, if you'd asked me a month ago, I'd have thought by now that race would be over. I don't think the Reds are very good. I watch them a lot because they're in my team's division. I don't think the Reds are very good. And I think the Mets should be very good, but hey, look, they're knotted up, so who knows?
Netflix will broadcast opening day featuring the Yankees and Giants in a primetime matchup, so that's intriguing. We've talked about MLB's media deal. They get a deal done with Netflix to broadcast opening day exclusively.
Yeah, Apple doing Thursday night football and Netflix doing opening day and all the streamers getting so many games really is going to be interesting. I do wonder, I don't think in my lifetime we'll see the networks lose the predominant games. But I do wonder if it's going to happen at some point.
What I think is frustrating is you're now seeing these things get moved to streaming where you're paying a membership to have access to it, but they still hit you with the same amount of commercials.
Right.
So it's like you're basically watching
That's a really good point.
TV like you were before, except that I never had to send CBS $18 a month to watch them.
Right.
Well, now you have to send all these streaming services that amount, or roughly that amount of money every month.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting hit with like the 3 minutes of
point.
commercials, and it's harder to skip through them, at least on my TVs.
Yeah.
Like Amazon Prime, if you pause it and try to then move ahead, it's just it's frustrating.
Well,
So
it started with cable because you paid for ESPN.
Right.
And so once games started going to ESPN, you paid. So only the networks are free. Good point.
Yep. The Jumbo Shrimp are
that's
champions.
great.
They win the International League Championship. The team now heads to Las Vegas to compete for the AAA National Championship.
One game winner take all, and you know what? Good for them. I was so happy with Ken Babby and Harold Craw, that Dave Ratz, that wonderful group down there. I mean, all of them. It is really Scott Kornberg. It is a wonderful group of people that love baseball and care about the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, their team, care about the city. What a great win for the Jumbo Shrimp. It really was.
Let's get it to college basketball. Georgia gives Mike White an extension through 2031.
How about that, huh? How about that, Hayes? You know what? They know a great one when they got one. All you Gator fans didn't appreciate him. Let me just tell you this. When Mike White gets them to the round of 32 again next year, you'll learn.
Did they get there this year?
Did he win it or did
they win? I thought they got. Maybe they did. I just know whenever it ended, they got destroyed. Remember, it was like 38 to like 9 at one point.
I thought they won a game.
They might have won a game. I can't remember. But whenever
I thought he got him to the round of 32.
Whenever they got beat, it was grotesque. But yeah, congratulations to Mike White and the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's get it to pop culture, because this week, back in 1985, this happened. One of the best theme songs ever. I don't know about the show. Growing Pains was okay. Pretty good show. But the theme song,
great theme
and
song.
Joanna Kearns.
Great theme song.
I mean,
great.
You gotta love Growing Pains, right?
Hang on. Who sings this?
I have no idea.
Hang on. Play some longer. It's a great song.
Yeah.
I don't know who sings it.
I think it's
I thought I recognized the voice at first.
I think it's just a couple studio musicians belting it out, but it sounds great. The show lasted 7 seasons and 166 episodes.
It's a great theme song.
Growing Pains debuts back in 1985. We'll get you out on our musical note of the day. This week, back in 1991, the Red Hot Chili Peppers release their 5th studio album, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. Fun, up-tempo, mayhem rock. It is a whopping 74 minutes. Sold over 14 million copies. This is Give It Away, a fantastic album.
Yeah, great band, great album, no question about it. Well done as always. We'll talk more Ryder Cup, little college football. Pete Prisco in about 15 minutes. We'll talk a few other things after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get an inside look at football's greatest position with Denny Thompson.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Tuned up by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
You'll get your weekly dose of Miami football on the Hurricane Report.
From South Beach to Jax Beach, stay on A1A for the latest from Miami on the Hurricane Report.
Proudly protected by Performance Painting on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
Hey, we all think we're experts on football, right? Well, it's time to prove it with Prize Picks. Kicking here for Prize Picks. Listen, you and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right, it gets you paid. So what are we experts on? Like the Jaguars. We know what Brian Thomas Jr. is going to do, and Prize Picks makes it fun. It's simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you cash in. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks doesn't count it as a loss. Prize Picks put their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Download the app today and use code 1010XL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code 1010XL. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Enjoy barbecue, live music, and auctions at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida's 4th annual Sizzlin' Soiree, presented by Dunkin' Donuts, October 2nd at the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. The Jacksonville Jaguars will hit the road for the second time this year, looking for their third win of the regular season as they will go toe-to-toe against the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium. You can catch all the action here on 1010XL beginning at 11 a.m. with our Terminex pregame show live from Tailgaters Parking. Right now, 86 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
Big news. Swamp Lizard 34 tells us he thinks the voice in the growing pains was B.J. Thomas. I think that's right. It sounded like, that was the raindrops keep falling on my head guy.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Well, hell.
I think Swamp Lizard. I think you might be right. I said I recognize the voice, but it did sound like the raindrops keep falling on my head guy, right?
B.J. Thomas.
Yeah.
There you go. Good ear.
Yeah, that's so. That is who it was, JJ. That's that's good. Good
and
job.
It's apparently it's
Swamp Lizard.
Dusty Springfield is the duet partner on it.
No, that
Jennifer Warnes.
Oh, okay. There's on Spotify. There's a version where it's Dusty Springfield who did like "Son of a Preacher Man,"
which is a great song. That is
just phenomenal song.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Dusty Springfield singing "Son of a Preacher Man" is one of the great songs really ever. So,
okay, it's B.J. Thomas with his wife Gloria Loring.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a great song. It might be the best.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was the Facts of Life theme. Interesting. But he also sang this theme as well.
Yeah, Swamp Lizard. I don't know if you really knew that or if you Googled it. Okay, I don't know if I'm giving you all the credit, but I do think B.J. Thomas is, because I recognize the voice. I recognize the voice in the. I'm old enough, Carline, that when B.J. Thomas sang "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head" in one of the great movies of all time, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, I saw it at the theater when it came out.
Wow.
Just so you know that I saw it. By the way, you saw the movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of the great movies of all time. I mean, really one of the great movies of all time.
My dad loved it. Yeah, for sure. So it looks like this is really interesting. We're going way too far into this. So B.J. Thomas.
This is great stuff, though. Yeah. You cannot go too far into B.J. Thomas.
So season 1, the theme is with Jennifer Warnes, who I also think was on the Dirty Dancing duet. I've had the time of my life.
Correct.
Okay, so then seasons 2, 3, and 5, the female is somebody else, and then Dusty Springfield is one of the. So apparently they must have recorded it multiple times, which I've never heard of, because if you have a great theme song, you wouldn't go back and redo it, but they must have. So
the knowledge you dropped on Jacksonville right
this
there.
Is
you don't get that on other shows, okay?
Hopefully
you don't get that on other stations.
Yeah,
you don't get that on other mediums, okay?
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Hopefully, the Growing Pains, creator and Alan Thicke and Joanna Kearns and Kirk Cameron, and hopefully they're all enjoying this.
How about you dropping Jennifer Warnes, and did you drop Bill Medley too?
Yeah, Bill Medley was you're right, on the I've had the time of my life. Look at you. How about that?
Kidding me? Bill Medley, who from what band?
Righteous Brothers.
Of course, from Righteous Brothers. If you didn't get that, you were going to leave.
I've got a trivia question for you.
I was going to make you leave the studio. Okay,
so this is one you'll have to leave the studio if you don't get this one right.
Okay.
What current A-list Hollywood actor was in Growing Pains?
I'm going to have to leave the studio because I got no idea. But
he was like a young vagrant.
Yeah, he was in Titanic.
Oh, come on, Frank.
He was in The Wolf of Wall Street.
DiCaprio?
He was in Growing Pains.
DiCaprio was in...
Later, much late, probably the final season.
Okay.
He was like a homeless kid.
He was, that they adopted.
Yeah, because he stole from the daughter, and you know what you do when a kid at the mall steals from your daughter? You adopt him in your home.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Only on Growing Pains. Yeah. There you go. Very important information. More important information. Update me on the Ryder Cup.
Patrick Cantlay just missed like a 5-footer that would have taken them into the lead over McIlroy and Lowry's group. Unfortunately, that one's still tied. The Euros just won a group, so it's 4-2, but it really looks like the USA's probably going to either tie or lose one of these, so it's not great.
So we're down 4-2. And there's 2 left?
They really needed Cantlay to make that putt. He literally just missed a 5-footer. That killed the U.S.
And he's been the best guy today.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, well, I mean, arguably. But boy, it's...
Fleetwood and Justin Rose are up 1.
The best for us.
DeChambeau played well, I guess, earlier, is what people were saying.
And Rahm on their team has just been destroying all of us. It looks like that Rahm and them just beat Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty's winless.
He's over 2.
Yeah, he's the fraud. I've always said that.
Yeah,
there's no question.
They put him with I think Russell Henley this morning, if I'm remembering correctly.
That's correct.
And then JJ Spawn today.
Yeah,
it's just like Russell Henley, Harris English, JJ Spawn. These are guys on the American team.
That's like
Patrick Cantlay.
That's like putting Scheffler with Russell Henley or Spawn. That's like the member guest. That you're the 14 handicap, so you show up with the +2 guy, and everybody hates you. That's what that was.
Yeah.
That was Henley showing up with a +2 guy. Let's take a break and talk some NFL. Pete Prisco's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
How does number 9 feel about number 16?
All right, here we go.
Find out when David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony. Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline here to let you know about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers. They're as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Frangie here. When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. They're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations and full air conditioning service, they do it all. And with Duck Duck, it's done right. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. If the Jags trust Duck Duck Rooter, so can you.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carline. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Frangie here. Bono's Pit Barbecue has been serving up legendary barbecue on the First Coast for over 75 years. And this month only, Bono's has loaded barbecue tater tots. That smoked pulled pork on top of tater tots with melted cheddar cheese sauce. You won't find this anywhere else. And with 18 Bonos around town, there's always one nearby. You can see all the locations at bonosbarbecue.com. Remember, the loaded barbecue tater tots are served for a limited time only, so don't miss out. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La Playa awaits.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Time for all things Jaguars and NFL with Pete Prisco. The Prisco Report, presented by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Showtime.
On The Frangie Show.
We thank our friends from Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on Phillips Highway at the end of Shad Road. They're the best collectible store around. It's gigantic in there. If you're a collector, I don't care who it is you root for, they've got it in there. Head in there today. Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. They do an outstanding job. Head to Showtime today. Pete Prisco joins us from CBSSports.com. All right, Pete, 49ers and Jags. Interesting matchup, isn't it? I'm intrigued by this one on many fronts.
Well, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, when you look at it from an injury standpoint, the 49ers are just crippled in a lot of spots. And they're a star-heavy team, and some of their stars aren't on the field. And when you have those big-name guys and you pay them a lot of money and they're not playing, that's tough to deal with. And so they did it last year. It didn't do it so well last year. They are 3-0. They haven't played great football, but they are 3-0. So it'll be interesting to see how they play and how Jacksonville plays, since the California's been a house of horrors for them over the course of their history.
Without a doubt. Pete, what did you make of, I guess, what I can describe as the worst backhanded compliment, I guess, that we've seen in a while in this league, with Robert Saleh saying that the Jaguars legally do a great job of stealing signs?
I don't know what he was doing, and nobody pushed back on him. What was the point of that? I mean, because he mentioned a couple other teams, and a lot of them came from that tree, the same tree. It's the Sean McVay tree, and Kevin O'Connell, and then you got, Liam Cohn. And how could he know that Liam Cohn does it? Because he's only been on the head coach for 3 games. So what is he saying? Todd Bowles did it too? I mean, I don't know where he was going with that. And the fact he brought it up this week, somebody mentioned to me, is he still angry that he didn't get the job in Jacksonville? Because remember, he was close to getting it. He was a finalist for that job. So I don't know why he did it. I don't know what his end game was, and I really don't know what he was talking about.
Yeah, it was really weird. Bottom line is, if it's legal, go ahead and do it, right? It doesn't bother me if you do it. If it's legal, have at it. So I have no problem.
Well, what was he saying? Frank, what was he saying? That they stand on the sidelines and they steal their signals from across the way? I don't know what he meant by that.
I think essentially what he was saying is that they're good at knowing that they're good at stealing signals. Now the question is, if you're talking into your if you're not making hand signals anyway, I don't know what they're stealing. I think what he was saying was he's with those guys enough. Shanahan probably does it too. McVay, Kevin O'Connell, all those guys were together, have a way of figuring out what the other team does. But again, he went out of his way to say legal over and over, right? So I don't think he was trying to say they were cheating. I think Hayes said maybe he's making an excuse. Could that be it?
That's what I think it is. I think he knows the beating is coming.
Wow, look at you, Hayes. You're already on that, huh? Since they've been, what's their record in California now? 1 in something?
Liam Cohen is undefeated in the state of California as the Jaguars coach.
No kidding. You are correct.
So is that. Pete, what do the Jags have to do in this game? Obviously, there are teams that runs the football. The 49ers well. What do the Jags have to do in this game?
Well, I think on the defensive side of the ball, they can't get overly aggressive. And I say it all the time. When you play the 49ers, he does such a great job of getting you to go one way and finding somebody wide open, coming out across or on the other side of the field. He sneaks them out. And that could be McCaffrey. It could be, anybody in their passing game. The fullback has done it, and he's banged up, but the fullback has done it. So I think you got to be careful because they're a young defense, and the first thing you want to do is fly to the football. And that offense does such a great job, and we've seen it over the course of the years, of sneaking guys out and getting them wide open. So you can be aggressive, but you can't be overly aggressive. And I think that's something they got to keep an eye on. On the offensive side of the ball, obviously got to run the ball, and I think he can run the ball. But without Bosa in there, I think they can throw the football, and they can throw it consistently. And we haven't seen that yet. This offense hasn't looked good yet, in my mind. There's no rhythm to it, in large part because they have a lot of pre-snap penalties, all the drops. Trevor's made some bad throws. It just hasn't looked like a offense in rhythm yet. And I think this is a game where maybe you can get that going, and I think they will. I think Travis Hunter is going to do more on offense, and I think they're going to get the ball down the field a little bit more.
When you watch Fred Warner, do you still see a absolute elite player?
Yeah, and he's one of the ones. I mean, I say this all the time. You look at their roster; there's 6 guys, 7 maybe. You got Trent Williams, Brock Purdy, McCaffrey, Kittle, Bosa, and Warner. And some people would say Ayuk. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's 6. Well, 2 of them aren't playing. Kittle's not there, and Bosa's not there. And what's the latest on Purdy? We don't know yet. I mean, and so I think when you look at it from that standpoint, it's hard to manage that. But to answer your question, Warner is a star and still is a star. But again, it's hard to do it when you're out there by yourself.
The 49ers just released their report, Pete, while we were on the phone with you. Purdy is going to play. He doesn't carry an injury designation.
And that's good for the 49ers and bad for the Jaguars because you'd rather play Mac Jones than anybody who saw Mac Jones play last year knows you'd rather play Mac Jones. So that's not good news for Jacksonville, but you know what? They have other problems. And so I think you could still slow that offense down a little bit.
Pete, the 49ers are a high-profile team. We all know that. The Jags are 2-1, and we're at, after this game, this is the old quarter turn when there were 16 games, right? If the Jags win this game, is this the one that gives them, if not national relevance, is this the one that people notice? I mean, it seems like to me, if you get to 3-1 in this league, I don't care how if you get to 3-1, that's when people pay attention. Do you get that sense?
And they will, because of next week. I mean, if they get to 3-1, it becomes a big game next week. It becomes relevant. No matter what the Chiefs do this week, that becomes relevant in a big way. So yes, to answer your question, I think this is an enormous game for a young team. And you're right. The 49ers have pedigree. They have cachet. They still have stars, even though a lot of them are injured. And that's a tough place to play. So you go out there and you physically beat them up heading into that game next week. Then all of a sudden you look around, you go 3-1, and maybe a Chiefs team that's desperate to win next week at your place. It's an enormous game for this young team.
What impresses you about the 9 takeaways that leads the league? Is there an element to that? It doesn't seem like there's a lot of flukes in there. It seems like they're doing a great job in enforcing them. Not a lot of unforced errors from the opponent. But what are you seeing when you see all these takeaways the Jaguars have generated?
Well, I think the pressure's been good. You know, they haven't been getting the guy on the ground all that much, but they're getting pressure. And I think Josh Hines-Allen's getting a lot of pressure. Walker's getting pressure, and those lead to turnovers. And I think the secondary is really improved. And I said that last week, I think, with you guys. The back end, the deep back end, those two are smart, heady, good football players. They'll tackle. They're not burners back there by any stretch of the imagination, but they're smart, and they know where to go, and they help get guys lined up. And I think the corners, Jordan Lewis has been a great signing for them. He's been fantastic. And for all the national talk about Travis Hunter, what did he do, not do it, you watch him play cornerback, he's natural. He's a natural corner. And I think that has helped them and has helped Tyson Campbell. I know Campbell got beat on the double move last week, but he's been better. So I think you add all that together, and that's why they're taking the ball away.
Pete, let's go around the league a little bit. Baltimore plays at Kansas City. Hard to believe one of those teams are going to be 1-3. What do you make of the game, and why did both start so slowly?
Well, I think if you look at it's a much more important game for the Chiefs because they're in that division that's better. I mean, you got the Chargers already at 3-0 and beat you. You got the Broncos who are 1-2, but they're still a good team. And then in the other division with the Ravens, you got the Bengals who know Joe Burrow. They're not going to be any good, and we don't know what to make of the Steelers. So I think when you look at it from that standpoint, it's much more important for the Chiefs, and they haven't played well because their offensive line hasn't played well, and they don't have weapons. I mean, it's kind of the same old story for them. And the Ravens, who saw their defense getting mauled in the run game the way it did last week, and the Ravens' defense and offensive lines have always been their calling card, and they were pushed around the other night. So I think it'll be interesting to see. And by the way, does Derrick Henry now have a fumbling problem?
Yeah, boy.
And the other part of that is he's only had 75 yards in the last 2 games combined. Is he slowing down? Is this it? And me, I always look at running backs and I go, okay, here we go. But Barkley's averaging 3.3 per rush, and Henry's had 70 yards or so in the last 2 games and has fumbled 3 times. Are the carries catching up to those guys? I mean, they had a lot of wear and tear on those body last year.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's a great point and something that certainly we'll keep monitoring as we get into October. In terms of Houston, great win by the Jaguars. It was an ugly game, but they get the win. Houston 0-3. Do you think the Texans still have life, or are they pretty much dead?
They're dead. I mean, all you have to do is take one little peek at their schedule, and you'll see how dead they are. I mean, this week they should win. They should get their first win because that Titans team isn't very good. And there's a lot of stuff going on involving that team, so they'll beat the Titans. But then you look at you keep going. I mean, they go from that to the Ravens, and then they got the Seahawks, and then they got the 49ers, and then they got the Broncos, back with the Jaguars, the Bills, the Texans, Colts, the Chiefs, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Chargers, and then the Colts again. They will be lucky to win 5 or 6 games.
Pete, the Eagles play the Bucs. How do you see that game?
I wish it'd be interesting if the Bucs were healthy. They're so banged up. No Mike Evans, and the offensive line has been a mishmash of guys playing. They started 2 guys last week at guard who never started a game in their lives and somehow won that game. So it'll be interesting to see how Baker can handle himself with that, line being what it is. And they might, worse is possible, but we'll see. And but I think if they can manage the line, they'll be able to stay in that game and maybe win it. They've had success against the Eagles, and I think that it's something to keep an eye on because they've actually done a really good job against them in their history.
Are you buying the Colts, and how do you think they'll fare against the Rams?
We'll know more about the Colts by about 7:15 Sunday night because they have 3 wins against teams with a combined 1-8 record, and 2 of those teams are the Dolphins and the Titans, who stink. So
and Denver should have won.
What's that?
And Denver should have won.
Yeah, and Denver's 1-2, by the way, and they haven't looked as good. So we'll know. Going and playing the Rams out there after that tough loss by the Rams is going to be a real challenge for the Colts. And let's be real. In the back of all our minds, we're sitting here saying at some point Daniel Jones is going to turn into Daniel Jones, right? Isn't that what we're thinking?
Yes.
I mean, he hasn't been. He's been great so far, but at some point he's going to turn into Daniel Jones. And I don't know if it'll happen this week, but I think the Rams is a tough game for them.
Pete, what's the biggest surprise so far? Either how good someone is, how bad someone is, anywhere in between for you?
I think bad quarterback play is my biggest surprise. Guys we thought were going to be pretty good quarterbacks have been dreadful. C.J. Stroud, he stinks right now. I mean, look, whether it's his fault or not, and I don't think he's processing very fast. Michael Penix, I mean, my gosh, he was awful last week. And Kyler Murray wasn't good last night until the fourth quarter. I think a lot of these quarterbacks around the league, Frank, are really struggling. And kudos to the defenses. I mean, the defenses throw so many different looks at these guys, but I'm going to pick on some of the offensive coordinators too. It's time, guys. You got to take some shots. You got to take some chances. I know everybody's afraid. Everybody plays off coverage. I got to be patient. You can get down the field against off coverage. You can beat it. You can get some, you play cover 2, you run 4 verticals. What happens? You're going to hit some big shots down the field. I think teams are far too cautious and afraid. Passing numbers. Look at the passing numbers in this league. Way down. Herbert threw for 300 last week, and you may as well have had a parade for him. Nobody's throwing for big numbers. Like last night's game, you watched it. All they did was rave about Sam Darnold, right? Sam Darnold. That's all they did, right?
Yeah.
He ended up with 200 yards passing because he didn't turn the ball over. Teams are scared. At some point, these coordinators have to go back to trying to take some shots down the field.
Who do you think wins Jags 49ers?
I think Jacksonville wins the game. I think they go out there and they're physical and they run at them. And with no Bosa, that's a different team. Even if you don't run on them consistently, you get in passing situations, they don't rush the passer without him like they do when he's there, obviously. And I think you can hit some shots down the field. So I think the house of horrors that it's been, California, I think they find a way to win the game.
And what a win that would be if the Jags can find a way to do that and come home and play Kansas City with a 3-1 record. Pete Prisco checking in from CBSSports.com. Thank you, Pete.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. Pete does such a good job talking NFL. He truly, truly does. Always brought to you by Showtime, Sports Cars, and Collectibles. You ready to do picks?
Absolutely.
Picks are next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's more than a game.
No matter how talented you are, it still comes down to that brotherhood of playing for one another.
1010XL. It's why we play.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showroom. It's cool, comfortable, and hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell.
Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
If you want to sell your home, or you're worried about selling your home, or you've had trouble selling your home, let me give you the hotline to the help you need. That's the hotline to Chad and Sandy. 904-414-6200, chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to get the right price, and you need the right marketing, the proven systems. Chad and Sandy hit every base for you. Need to sell now? Instant offers coming. Fast, easy, stress-free. You want max price? Chad and Sandy bring your home to market with unmatched exposure, whether you're buying or selling. Fast or max cash, Chad and Sandy have the proven plan guaranteed. And how about this promise? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. They are the real estate experts you can trust. So call them today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Time for the Frangie Show Picks of the Week, brought to you by Ricketts Electric, Jacksonville's Power Connection. The Ricketts Picks start now.
All right, we do thank our friends from Ricketts Electric. They're the best in the business. 904-320-5960. They do all our electric at the Bregan Baseball Complex, all over Fort Family Park at our home. The best electrician around is my friend Zach Ricketts, and his company is killing it. 904-320-5960. The number to call. Let me get right back to these standings, okay? That's what I want to know. J.J. LaSelva.
Oh.
They're talking about him in other countries now.
Carson Beck's talking about J.J. LaSelva.
They're all talking about him. J.J. LaSelva continues to lead the way.
Nice.
He was 5-3 last week, 7 total points. I was 6-2, by the way.
Which, by the way, the Rams. I mean, I would have made up a bunch of. I would have killed y'all if they would have made that field goal.
There were some narrow losses. I was 6-2 with 8 points. JJ 5-3 with 7 points. Hayes Carline, he hails from the bowl school. He was only 4-4, but he had 5 total points. We all had the money ball. So right now, JJ is 22-10, 27 total points. I'm 19-13, 24 total points. Hayes Carline is the bottom feeder. I enjoyed that. 16-16 with 20 total points. We all have 2 game picker-uppers. JJ and I are 3-0 in money balls. Hayes is 2-1. Here we go. Hayes picks first. Let's get to tonight's ball game. They're playing it in Charlottesville. No Ralph Sampson. FSU, Virginia.
I like Virginia tonight in the upset. I think it's Florida State's been off for it's been a while since they played Alabama. I'm curious to see how they handle that. Virginia does have the ability to score. I think it's an exciting game, but I like Virginia 38-37.
Here comes Carline, not afraid. I'll take the Noles, JJ.
Yeah, I actually bet on Florida State earlier this afternoon. I'm rolling with Florida State. -6.5 even.
Oregon on the road at Penn State. Oh, it's going to be a whiteout. There's 100,000 of them there, right there in north central Pennsylvania. They'll be coming from Altoona, from Harrisburg, from Scranton. They're coming in from Scranton. I'll take Oregon on the road. JJ.
Yeah, I was surprised that Penn State is favored in this game. I'm not a huge Drew Aller guy. I'm going with Oregon.
Another chance for another game picker-upper at home with 100,000 helping you.
At some point, James Franklin's got to win one of these, right? I will say that Saturday he gets it done, and Penn State, with all that talent in the backfield, is able to hold off the Oregon Ducks.
Oh, I love it. 2 game picker-upper opportunities for Hayes Carline in Saturday afternoon. They'll be at the Grove, JJ. They'll be barbecuing. They'll be cooking that barbecue at the Grove. They'll be all partying. There'll be a concert out there at the Grove. I've been to the Grove. The Grove's fantastic. LSU at Ole Miss, JJ.
I'm always going to go with LSU over Ole Miss. Pretty much in any game, any year, I'm going with the Tigers.
Hey, it's Carline.
I'm going to go with Ole Miss because the game is still in September. Ole Miss doesn't choke until more around Halloween. So I'll say that the Rebels are able to get it done in a wild game.
I'm coming with Hayes Carline. Maybe it's because we both watched the documentary.
And I want Lane Kiffin to coach the Gators.
And me too, so I'm coming with them
They
too.
are favored.
So there you go. Here we go. I mean, between the hedges. They're going to be between the hedges of what they're going to be. You kidding me? What's that coming down the track? That's my question for you, Hayes Carline. Who do you like, Bama and Georgia?
I'm hunkering down with the Dogs on this one. I just think I think they showed great resiliency on Rocky Top, and I think they're starting to gel on both sides of the ball. So give me the Georgia Bulldogs.
Easiest pick of the week for me. I'll take the Bulldogs as well. JJ.
Yeah, I like the Bulldogs in a pretty easy affair.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of in agreement there. So there you go. NFL music, please, JJ. The Colts and the Rams. The Colts are pretty good, but I think the fun stops. Give me LA at home. JJ.
Yeah, the Rams really let me down last week. They had such a huge lead the whole game. I'm going to roll with them again this week. LA Rams.
Oh, Indianapolis. Can Hayes take yet another game picker up?
I really like how Jonathan Taylor is running the ball, and I do wonder with the Rams facing the 49ers Thursday night if there's a little peek ahead that might hurt them. So I'll say Daniel Jones, not spectacular, but does enough. Jonathan Taylor, the superstar of this game, and they hold off the Rams on the road.
You're going all in. Hayes Carline's tired of being in last place. I'm telling you what's happened. I can see it right now. Eagles at the Bucks. I'll take the Eagles on the road. I agree with Pete Prisco. The Bucks are too beat up, JJ.
I think it'll be close, but I do like the Eagles to come out at the other end with the W. They're like the new Chiefs of last year, and I think they're going to win a bunch of these really close, ugly matchups.
Push those chips all in, Hayes.
I mean, they're so due to lose. That's the thing. Philadelphia, I think, is like 19-1 in their last 20, and I think they've won like 17 or 18 consecutive games. It's ridiculous how well they've been doing, and it's hard to pick against them. But at some point, it is the NFL. At some point, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to lose a game. I'll say the heat bothers them. It's been really hot this week. I have no idea about Sunday's forecast, but I'm going to assume it will be hotter than it's been in Philly. So I like Baker Mayfield, the moxie he's playing with. I'll say an undermanned Bucs team still guts out a big home win over the world champs.
I'll say at the end of this weekend, either you storm from behind or it's going to be a long year for you. You've gone all in. You weren't afraid.
He could be in like first by the end of
He
this
could
week.
be first or way down in last. Exactly right. JJ, Chiefs at home against the Ravens.
This one is crazy difficult. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I just can't imagine them dropping to 1-3. I'm going to go with the home team.
Hayes Carline.
The underdog at home, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens, although this is the last time I'm picking them because they've really let me down all season. But I do think Derrick Henry bounces back. They're just more balanced, I think. Kansas City is getting Xavier Worthy back. But I just think with Lamar, Henry, and I do think the Ravens defensively can't possibly be as bad as what they've shown. So I'll say close, but the Ravens get the road win.
I will take the Chiefs with JJ. Yet another game picker up for Hayes Carline. And finally, Jags. Oh, the money ball is a big one today. Hayes Carline, he hails from the bowl school. Who do you like?
I like the Jaguars in this game. I just think offensively they're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be able to take advantage of Nick Bosa not playing. And I think from a defensive standpoint, Brock Purdy is I think going to be, he's playing, but I think he's going to have to watch the toe, so I don't know how much he's going to be moving. Christian McCaffrey, a wonderful player, but I think the Jaguars are able to get some takeaways as they've been able to do, and I think the Jaguars get the win in San Francisco.
From the courtyard right there in the middle of Ocala Forest, right by the cafeteria is where he holds up. That's where he held up. That's where he held up there.
I did hang out outside.
No
that
question.
was like the cool kid
No
spot.
question. And there's no question this was a cool kid. Cool kid. Who do you like, Jags and Niners?
I'm going to go with the home team. Just the travel, their history of not playing well out there. I'm going Niners 28, Jags 24.
Yeah, I got to go there too. I want the Jags to win this one in the worst way, but I'm going to have to go there too, so I'll take the Niners at home. So, you ready for this?
This has to be a
you ready for this
has
summer?
to be a fixed record.
Hayes Carline from the Moss Point Grill, the former maitre d' and dishwasher there, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game picker-upper opportunity. Are you
6
kidding
out of
me?
8.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you what the problem. Can I tell you
Big
this?
weekend
Let me tell you what the
ahead.
problem
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Let me tell you what the problem
It's
is.
exciting.
Big weekend ahead.
The world's afraid. We live in an afraid world. You think Carline's afraid?
Hell no.
No, he's not afraid. 6 of these. 6 of them. And by the way, you can,
I'll be very happy if 3 of them hit.
Yeah, I mean 6 of these. There's a lot of them. There's a lot on the line here. Let me tell you why Hayes Carline had to go there. He's in dead ass last place. It's JJ 22 and 10, 27 total points. I'm 19 and 13, 24 total points. Hayes Carline 16 and 16, 20 total points. I mean, those chips were all pushed in the middle of the table is what happened
Love
right
it.
here. Love it, love it, love it. We'll tell you how we did next week. We'll take a break, come back and wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
NFL an early start to week number 4 on Sunday as the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings playing in Dublin, Ireland. Both teams at 2-1 on the season. Minnesota going with Carson Wentz at quarterback. They're a 2.5-point favorite over the Steelers, minus 145. Pittsburgh plus 125 with the over-under total at 40.5. A battle of 3-0 teams on Sunday as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia 3.5-point favorite as the Buccaneers will be without wide receiver Mike Evans. The Eagles are minus 200, Buccaneers plus 170, over under at Raymond James Stadium 44.5.
Cash back for every bet with a G-Bank signature Visa card. VSIN.com/GBank.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. We're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, and full air conditioning service, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Jacksonville is my hometown and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to brandonroofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com. BestBetJax.com.
Get ready, poker players. The World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 30th through November 18th. It's your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and mega satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. For the full WPT schedule and more information, visit BestBetJax.com. That's BestBetJax.com.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LOCAL to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LOCAL for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LOCAL for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, we get you ready for the weekend. We talked Jags and 49ers. We talked about Robert Saleh's comment about the Jags legally stealing signs. That was a topic today we got to. You heard from two terrific Jaguar players. Hayes, as always, did his yeoman's work in the locker room. Tyson Campbell and Dennis Gardeck, two important members of that outstanding Jaguars defense. You also heard from Pete Prisco today. Talking about Jags and Niners and the entire NFL. We talked a lot about the golf, the Ryder Cup, and, of course, we did our picks just moments ago. So we'll continue to update you on that as we go and as we get even into the weekend. So looking forward to it. Knowles and Virginia coming up. Hayes picked Virginia to win that game. I think Florida State might roll them. I mean, I think – what's the line?
6.5.
Yeah.
I took it at 6.5 this afternoon.
Yeah, I think the Knowles might really put one on. But we'll see. We'll see if they put one on them or
Why
not.
do you guys think it's so – tiny? Because it's just Friday night on the road?
And that's a good question. And it's way smaller than I would have expected. I think, and I think Virginia's a little better than people think. The quarterback's pretty good. They're a little better than they've been. Let's put it that way.
Also, I've seen 7.5 as a really popular line they've been setting this year when they just don't know what. Like Florida and Miami's last week was the exact same thing.
I think this too. Well, and to that end, JJ, people aren't sure what to think of FSU. This is still a team that won 2 games last year. And I think they're so new and there's so many new players that people aren't sure what to think.
They've been off your TV for 3 weeks.
That's right. And that's to Hayes' point. We haven't seen them in a month, So I think I think as you guys know the betting lines better than I do, but you guys know the betting lines are set to generate even betting. They're not telling you who they think's going to win. They're trying to generate even betting. So the betting lines are set based on what the lines makers think the fans will do. That's how you set a line. And I think the odds makers are assuming that the fans aren't quite sure about FSU. That's what I think. Yeah. But I will tell you this, and shows you how much if they lose, I'll show you what a dummy I am. I'm somewhat confident the Noles are going to win comfortably in this game. I think FSU. I see this one as 38-21, 38-17, 38-21 is what I see in this game, and by the way, that's based on watching FSU all of one time. I I did not watch any of the Kent State or East Texas A&M.
Bud Elliott, who covers Florida State, reported that their star, he says star, I don't know, UVA star center Brady Wilson is out tonight for the Florida State game.
Okay, so there's that.
Center's important.
Yeah.
Centers are important. No, I agree with that. So we'll see. So it'll be a fun weekend. I do think this. I said this earlier in the week. If Ole Miss beats LSU, with all the Lane Kiffin talk about Lane Kiffin to Florida, the Lane Kiffin documentary, all the Lane Kiffin chatter, if Ole Miss wins that game against an LSU team that some people think are going to be is one of the best in the country, I think the Lane Kiffin talk overall will be louder than it's been since he's been a head coach. You agree with that?
I do.
Since he's been a head coach.
I think the public at large is ready to welcome Lane Kiffin back as a star where you're not really focusing on
the quirkiness.
Yeah.
You said it so perfectly. You said it this week. Lane Kiffin has always come with a but. That was perfectly said because he has. He always, no matter what, it always has. And that will fade if they win this. It's faded already, but that will fade in numbers if they wind up winning this game. I agree with you. So I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens in this game. If Alabama beats Georgia, is there a statement there? Or is it just a game?
Big statement.
What's the
for
statement?
Kalen DeBoer?
Yeah.
Well, he will have beaten Kirby Smart in back-to-back years,
right,
which says a lot. To win in Athens and snap their home winning streak would be. I mean, to me, if Alabama beats Georgia, what happened in Tallahassee a month ago, the Crimson Tide fans should forget about it. It means nothing. If he's able to go beat Georgia in Athens, it would be a signal to the nation that Alabama is ready to compete for the national title again. If he's able to get it, I think it would be a just massive statement if Kalen DeBoer's team is able to go into Athens and beat the Bulldogs.
Final question before we get out of here. Brock Purdy, how will he play against this really opportunistic Jaguar defense, which is as good as there is in the league, taking balls away?
I think they're going to have to really protect him because you play the Rams Thursday night in a game that's way more critical for San Francisco than this one. So I think a fairly conservative game plan from Shanahan in terms of how much Purdy's going to be on the move. So you're going to put it in McCaffrey's hands as often as you can and hope that that Purdy can operate from the pocket. So the 49er guards are a real liability. So that interior pass rush, can the Jaguars run some games to get Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker, working through the A gap on some stunts? That I think could give San Francisco some real problems because Purdy's mobility, I think, is going to be less than ideal.
By the way, the Ryder Cup, McIlroy, and I think they just won. Did they win?
No. Rose just won.
Rose and Fleetwood
Rose just hit a probably like a 15-footer on 18 to beat DeChambeau and Griffin.
Rose and Fleetwood just won, so they're up 5-2 now, are the Europeans.
And there's only one grouping, foursome left, and it's McIlroy and Lowry, and they're all square against Burns and Cantlay with 2 holes to play.
You need to win that one, boy.
You have to win that one.
You need to win that one.
Yeah.
You don't need to go down 6-2 after day one.
Even a draw doesn't do much for you.
You need to win that one. And they're tied with 2 to play. All right, that'll just about do it for our weekend. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Have a great trip.
Great college. Thank you very much. Great college football weekend that we'll all be watching. I'll be watching most of it on a plane. And then Jags and 49ers. Boy, can the Jags make a statement. Boy, oh boy, can the Jacksonville Jaguars make a statement. If they win and get to 3-1, come home on a Monday night. Let's pack that place on a Monday night as the 3-1 Jags take on the Kansas City Chiefs. I hope it happens. Folks, enjoy your weekend. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.